Hi, I'm back. I'm sorry. I had to take that phone call because it was important, and so sorry about that. Uh, yeah, I was just saying how I went on the other live stream that the person that was that's without being specific, it shocks me just to see. I don't know. Sometimes I get in different moods. I'm not in a bad mood. I'm just freaking. Anybody go out and do anything good today? I keep wanting to do a trivia show, but kind of like based on kind of like Jeopardy. I don't know if I have enough people ever that are really interested in trivia. I don't know. It's so bad I just had to drop right out of my live stream so quick, and I was in the midst of talking. I don't know. So boring now, life. Not like how I thought it was gonna be. I feel like it's boring for a lot of us, you know? Where would I possibly want to go? Freaking, I mean, I don't know. Not putting makeup on is really this option anymore in life. I cannot get over how loud those motorcycles are go by. Sometimes they're not even motorcycles, they're scooped up cars. Souped up cars, like a Campbell soup can driving down the street. That'd be kind of funny. I didn't even go out today. I did not much at all. But like I'm saying, I mean, it sucks. My lastly few people that were in the room before I was talking to. Wah. Mm, maybe I'll end it. Come back later or something. Who knows? I don't even know if people can hear me because I can't hear myself. So. Yeah, I'm just gonna say though, I will go and continue. I do want to continue this one particular thing that I was talking about. Okay, when I was researching those Rodney King riots, I was really in some real shock because of the list of people. I didn't realize that 64 people had died in those 6 days. And if people weren't, born back then, which I know some people they weren't, I mean that's obvious, 92, that's a while back. But I would suggest going back and, you know, looking at some of those videos of the Rodney King riot, and then, any color that you are, ask yourselves, okay, so why didn't this devastation change anything? At the same time, I just really couldn't believe what I was reading about the list of people who were, you know, who had, been killed. I really couldn't. I don't know if something went wrong when I had to answer that other call. or something, because it seems, like I would have thought, at least one person would come in. Doesn't matter. You know what? I just really want to get this out about the Rodney King stuff that I was researching. So when I reviewed the footage of the Rodney King video and the four police officers that finally, had got him pulled over, and now he's out of his vehicle and he's on, drugs and drunk, okay? Just had led them on a high speed chase and not handcuffed, okay? And he continuously would not, follow the orders that were given. Like they wanted him to lie prone on his back so they could, handcuff him, even to the point where one of the officers that was there lay prone on the ground trying to show Rodney King what he wanted him to do. But Rodney King, who was not handcuffed, continued to um he continued to get up and cock his leg, like, continuously going to throw kicks. It did not matter how many times they were like, when the officer lies on the ground and is showing you, please just do this, and you're still continuously getting up, cocking your leg, and the officers were not like pounding and pounding and pounding him, but then, you know, you gotta remember that he had just led them on a high speed chase through populated areas. And not only could he have killed himself, he could have killed other people. The officers could have gotten killed or very hurt, no matter what the case. And then I thought the fact that the officer laid on the ground and tried to demonstrate what position they wanted Rodney King to get into to so they could handcuff him, and he still was like throwing kicks and shit like that. I mean, okay. Um, so he ends up getting 3.25 million, or just a little under 4 million in a wrongful death suit. And then he ends up dying from from an accidental drowning, which in itself is so fishy because he, you know, according to his, well, he was. And when you look him up, okay, here's another thing that really kills me. How is that? When you look him up, it doesn't, you know how, like, okay, they'll give a biography of people. Okay. Um, you look him up and they put him as an activist. Okay? An activist. That's how he's described. That's how his, profession is put. Like he's an activist. And, I'm sorry, but no, that's not an activist. What he was doing was not being an activist. like there's no, and then, let's say author, that also was after, the incident. Hey, I really would like to know, prior to the incident, what was his career? What was his productivity into society? I mean, were they a taxpayer? It's not, and trust and believe me, in all the research I've been doing, it's not just about, uh, blacks. I'm not racist or anything. There's white people too who are just, you know. All I'm saying is I hear a lot of that, a lot of the division, and it bothers me. I really hope that, because Rachel Reed was on before I got that phone call, and she didn't come back. Usually she will, but I hope that, when I said I had to go because of that phone call, that people realize it was, it was the hospital's, phone number, and I have surgery next week, so I had to answer it. So, you know, had to do it. I feel really bad that it was such a, quick, bye thing, but it was nothing personal to anybody. I wasn't trying to get out of, you know, whatever conversation was going on or anything. I just had to take that call. So I just wanted to make that clear to, people. But yeah, sometimes I do realize I go on about things I feel passionately about and talk about them. But you know what? There's other people who do that. There is other channels, and I'm not just talking about in this community, but there's other channels that do that. And um, it's not different. It's not out of the realm that people would want to just speak out about their, maybe there are certain things they feel strongly about and bring them to light, especially with YouTube. Hey, Clemson. I don't even know if I believe that you're really drinking as much as you always say that you are, because it's it's uh it's a honesty, but like almost too honesty. Like I just don't know that anybody who drinks as much as you seem to tell us that you do would really want to say they drink that much. I mean, because there's somebody that, oh, I'm just sitting here having a few beers, but so I don't know if you're just pulling my leg when you say those things. I really know. I find it hard to believe that you would be all like, I'm feeling rough. I'm drinking Fireball. Oh, I'm drinking whiskey. I'm drinking this, that, and the other thing. Oh, I'm standing on the corner with a sign. That's what you said one time. I'm waiting for my. I honestly, God, don't think that you would say those things. I think you're just busting me. I think you're just pulling my leg. I really do. Because if that's the truth, then I gotta ask you, why did you start drinking so much? What are you trying to like? Not. I know a lot of people do things like some people do this, some people do that because of something that happened. I'm just trying to find out like what made you start drinking so much, if that's how much you really drink. 'Cause if that's the case, then forgive me because um, then I feel it's really a problem if you honestly drink that much and have been saying it in different places where your friends are. Because I feel like, we're a community, we're your friends, and that we all breeze over it. And in the meantime, you could be saying it, mean it, and really want to talk about it. And here I am thinking he's kidding, but maybe you're not, and maybe you really do want to talk about it, and maybe I shouldn't. I'm not going to speak for anybody else, and maybe I shouldn't keep thinking that you're kidding. So if you want to talk about it, if that it's really the way it is, then I'm just saying, my bad for and I mean it sincerely. And I've seen you in other live streams that I've been to where you'll say things similar to like this, and people kind of brush it off. And here we all are, this community where it kind of sprung from. Are you sure, Clemson? Because I feel like here as a community where we should understand that the most, that we've kind of been pushing what you say aside, thinking that you're kidding because you're here in the chat, like as if you're not one of those like featured in the videos and stuff. But you're also not talking about drugs. It could have been another reason why we pushed it off. But if you're not kidding, then shame on me because I just kept thinking you were kidding that you drink that much. And that's pretty, I'm sorry for that. But I didn't recognize that maybe you were reaching out. I don't think I have like a delay on my chat, do I? Seems like maybe I do, because I don't know. Unless you're just a slow type of, maybe you're drunk. That's I'm only kidding. Joking right there. There's 5 people here. Does anybody want to talk or say anything? How was anybody's day? Clemson, do you want to talk about what you're going through? Anything at all? I mean, I myself, I don't even like know what to say anymore about anything. What has been going on with that trial? I didn't watch it today. Did anybody else watch it? I know, right? Why are they not? Crazy. I mean, I can understand why some people wouldn't, but feel free. If they are like scared to talk, don't be scared to talk. You can talk unless you don't want to be known that you're here, but I don't know. I'm not that type of person who would be, oh, why are you here, kind of thing. So, I don't know. See, 8 people. No. I would like people to talk because I got things I want to talk about with people. And I want to know, like, what's going on with the like, trial. Has anybody been watching it today or what? Any updates? Hi, Dennis. How are you? Oh, you did watch some today, Samson? Yeah, well, he should be because, what he did was, yeah, just not okay, regardless of who it was to, regardless who was under that knee with the hand in the pocket, I kind of feel like it was personal. I feel like just how, an attorney can't represent somebody that they know, or something like that, like it's conflict of interest in some cases, not represent somebody they know, but You know what I mean? Cases of conflict of interest. I feel like the fact that he worked with him, I didn't start radiation yet. I did chemo. I did chemo so far for like 6 months. Then I have surgery next week, and then I gotta go into the radiation. But uh, yeah, he is gonna go to prison, and uh, they should just. Well, you know what? I mean, then, and you know what's gonna come out is they're gonna. No, I did chemo. I didn't start radiation yet because I finished chemo last week, and the week before was my last treatment of chemo, and then this coming up week, I have surgery and everything. And then today, I just had questions from my doctor, from my surgeon, not the oncologist, but I was like getting so annoying because he wouldn't call back. So finally, I called my oncologist. Don't even say that. The 8 weeks. I don't even. Did she live or did she die? Let's be honest. How old was she too? What kind of cancer? And did she get chemo? I'm sorry for all the questions in a row, but I mean, like I saw you on Bob's last night, and you know, did she die from it? That's a thing. I don't know. Nothing's ever gonna be the same for me. That's what's getting to me. Oh, she did live. Thank you, oh, Dennis. Oh my God, thank you. I was sitting here and fucking just hanging on the edge of my seat, waiting for that question to come up, that pop up the answer. Thank God. Because, I mean, I'm so happy to hear that know, for you and your family and for your aunt and for me too. Because that's one of the things that freaking gets to me so badly, you know? It's, yeah, oh, no, it's stage 3 breast cancer. I just talked to my oncologist. He said he thinks I responded really well to the chemo and that he felt like the fears I was having, this in between time till the surgery is unwarranted. He's seen people who don't respond well, and he's seen people who respond well. And thank you, Donna. Such an ironic thing, too, because I didn't pick Survivor Girl because of the cancer. I picked it because I felt like we were all survivors in some way, and there's been many things in life that I survived on. And I want to just, just yeah, yeah. All right, Dennis. Thank you, though. I appreciate that you came in and shared that encouraging story. That made me feel better. So, because I wasn't feeling like positive today, So at least it's nice when people come in with an encouraging story like that. Uh, but anyway, yeah. Hmm. I don't know if Clemson's here, but just I hope everything is well with everybody today. I'm having a hard time, you know. But I wanted on what show? I thought you wanted on that show. Which one? I don't remember which one. Jeopardy? Did want to go on Jeopardy. What show? And I want this show. And we call like these live stream shows. Isn't that so funny? In my show, I'll say, oh, you're so funny. You thought I wanted on that show. Yeah, I'd rather go on Fantasy Island than freaking Survivor. You kidding me? I would be the first one dead. Absolutely. They can't call and have them come pick them up. They got to be voted off because I'd be voted off on the plane on the way. I would be absolutely not. I'm not eating a bug. How many bugs are there? Yeah. I was too tired or drunk to say anything else. I did sleep. I slept. Something. Were we on this morning? Are we in this, right? You are my guest. I am your host. You look like him there in that picture. If that's really you, it's, nice picture. Oh, yeah, I was on at 3:30. I was. I admit it. Time flies sometimes. Oh, he did miss Tiffany, didn't he? Thought she was there when he was there. I'm pretty sure. Mm. It is what? A good picture? Or you? I like Tiffany. She's funny. She's nice. I like her. I like it when she comes on. I like it when she comes on, and I like it when anybody comes on. Why don't you come on? Come on. I'm posting the link. How come you won't come on anymore, Mr. Rourke? Oh my god, what did I say last night? You could call my mom and see. You're so funny. I believe you. That's you. But what the hell did I say last night? You said something, but then you left. And so I missed that you were leaving. And you know how you and me bust each other. I think we do kind of in a way sometimes on live streams. But then again, on the flip side, sometimes I'll see you on live streams and you'll say like the sweetest nice thing about like you'll bring me up in such a nice way. So I just want to say I appreciate that too. Oh, but somebody's knocking on the door.
Hello?
What picture is that?
Which picture is what?
Oh, that's the one with the Adidas pants.
Yeah, the black. It's what do you say? The Adidas track pants with the street stripes.
Yeah, it's funny. It's a different avatar than the one that you use when you're. See,
Yeah,
oh, you have two different avatars. Yeah, you're pretty talented with that, with the avatar thing. Like that night when you kept switching it, and JC was like putting your measurements and shit.
I just figured out how to do it. I didn't know how to do it. I had like a green one and then a purple one.
Yeah, you were funny. And I'll tell you what, my eyesight's so bad that I really couldn't see barely any of them. Yeah, I'm like, I don't see it. Yeah, I'm always lost behind in the audio, all kinds of crap.
Yeah, you're always behind in audio.
Yeah, that's because I use that talk to text. But that was so embarrassing that time with the wrench. And I'm going, oh my God, thank you so much. Oh my God, to Bobbles. But
Hmm.
I hadn't heard her say it was temporary, so I could drop my link. I was all ready to make an acceptance speech and shit. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you came in and you go, "Oh, you're wrench. That's nice." I keep wanting to organize like a trivia challenge, but like kind of like a Jeopardy kind of, where there's
The
three contestants.
the guy New York Pizza Sucks is really good at that, asking the questions.
But you're saying I'm no good. You guys never give me a chance.
No, I'm not saying. I didn't say that. I said.
I know. He is good. He is good at asking questions. But I was thinking of it like having three people on the panel, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're having five categories, five questions each, and then we could even do like a double Jeopardy, but not double Jeopardy, not call it Jeopardy, but with point values, and then have a returning champion, or like pick two more people up on the panel for the second half instead of having double Jeopardy. Just you know.
I noticed that you were pretty good at trivia, so you might become a champion, and then it's going to be look like a rigged game.
No, I can't. I want to ask the questions. I'm not playing.
Oh.
Yeah, I want three talented contestants up here. Look, I even had sports questions. Mr. Rourke, you're good, right? You watch sports? Clemson Tiger does, right?
I used to. I
Okay.
don't know more.
You don't know sports?
Not no more.
Well, this is okay. I'm just gonna say it. Hi, Dominic. How are you? Just gonna say the question. See if anybody knows. What NFL player returned a fumble 66 yards to the wrong end zone?
Gee.
And it was in 1964. I'll give that.
Probably was a Detroit Lion.
Who?
Somebody on the Lions.
No, it says what player too. What NFL player returned a fumble 66 yards to the wrong end zone in 1964? Jim Marshall.
Jim Marshall.
And he played for the Vikings. Okay. Who is the most decorated Olympian of all time?
Michael Phelps.
Yes. Very good. See, you do know. What NFL player debuted as a professional wrestler in 2004? Brian Urlacher.
Oh, from the Green Bay Packers.
I don't know where he's from.
Oh, he's from Chicago.
I don't know sports. I'm just asking a question.
He was from Chicago.
Diameter of a basketball hoop in inches.
Diameter of a basketball in inches?
Basketball hoop in inches.
I'd say 14.
Nope. One more guess.
13?
18.
18? Wow.
Yeah. That's pretty big.
I never get it in the hole.
I never get it in the hole. Dominic was close. He said 16. All right. What does the word Dorito mean in Spanish?
Corn chip.
Nope. I'm just waiting to see if anybody tries to answer in the chat room too. So, if they didn't hear, what does the word Dorito mean in Spanish? You can try again too, Mr. I don't care if people look it up, really, because sometimes I Google shit. I Google the questions. 18 was right, Clemson. Yeah. All right. It means little golden things.
Can you eat just one?
For real? They're
Yeah.
pretty good.
I can eat just one.
I could probably eat just one.
I can eat just one and never touch them again.
Never ever.
No, I don't eat Doritos.
Why not?
I don't eat a lot of candy either.
That's right, because you work out all the time.
Did I tell you that I didn't eat pizza till I was like 14 years old? Actually, I didn't eat pizza till I was smoking weed.
See what? See what it did?
Yeah,
See what it
the mon-
did?
it's called the monkeys.
I got another trivia question.
Go ahead.
Obviously, right? I'm chomping at the bit. When did pumpkin pie first appear?
Well, first time I heard it was in the Jamie video. Uh, let's go eat some pumpkin pie.
What is it?
The Jamie video.
Somebody says that? Let's go eat some pumpkin pie.
You don't remember the video with the girl Jamie?
Yeah, I do. Was it at the end?
Yeah, they kept on talking about pumpkin pie during the video. She was in no
Somebody gave her pumpkin pie, evidently, or Tom or something.
she don't remember.
She don't You're horrible. Clemson said 1942, but no, it was the second Thanksgiving in 1623. Isn't that weird?
Wow,
I mean,
yeah.
yeah, like they don't have canned pumpkin pie filling.
Did they have whipped cream?
Did they have what?
Whipped cream.
Probably.
Because without whipped cream, pumpkin pie is this.
I'm not big on pumpkin pie, but I did try to make pumpkin muffins one time, like with a real pumpkin, and it really doesn't work out well. So I'm surprised. They must have really been good cooks then, even though they poisoned it. Because remember they killed them all on the second Thanksgiving.
All the pumpkins?
No, they killed all the pumpkins. And that is where the Great Pumpkin comes into play. With Charlie Brown coming back to get revenge for killing all the pumpkins on the second Thanksgiving. That's what happened. They really hold a grudge against us. Gotta go, TLOL. That's what Clemson says. I'm gonna check you out tonight, honey. I gotta make a liquor run. Do you think he really drinks as much as he does? So he's gonna go out. What? I hope you're walking, Clemson, not driving or riding a bike.
The other day he was drinking moonshine, and I read earlier in the chat he was drinking
Fireball.
hot damn or something.
Fireball.
Fireball? Oh, okay.
Hot damn. Is that even a drink?
Yeah, I think it's like a cinnamon schnapps, or it's one of those.
I think it's called something else. Not hot damn. It's called something else. I know what you're talking about. Which vegetable loses its flavor the quickest?
Do we have a choice?
No.
Huh.
You
asked this question before. I should have remembered it.
I did ask before, and it's asparagus. I do like asparagus. I like canned asparagus.
It's got to be fresh, picked from the garden.
Some of that.
Who
is the original drummer for the Beatles?
It's not George Ringo or whatever his name is, Ringo Starr?
Nope, the original one. Pete Best.
Poor guy.
I know, I think the same thing.
He must have sucked.
Lemon says, I'll can your asparagus. He cracks me up sometimes when I'm reading. You and him both will crack me up in the like. I'll be reading a chat at the same time when I'm on the live stream, and somebody will say something, but then I start laughing. It's
Hmm.
usually because I'm reading something in a chat. Now, when somebody's saying something, like really important, and I'm laughing. But last night he was like, "I hate the heat and I hate the cold."
I read
It's
the
like,
comment.
okay,
I hate
all right,
Americans. I read his comment. I hate Americans.
yeah, right. I hate Americans. And like he hated everything last night. I need a what do you say, a temperate or something like that kind of temperature. Have you ever heard Lemon when he's on my live stream? He's really smart.
Yeah,
You're
I've
smart
heard
too.
him before on here.
Yeah, he's smart, real smart. He sounds stoned a lot, right?
I think you guys were talking something about the uh, George Floyd case or something similar to that.
Yeah, we were talking about a lot of stuff, but he doesn't. He's not stoned a lot, but he just sounds it like mellow. Because he even said he sounds so, like a slow talker. He didn't know himself when you listen to yourself back.
Oh, um,
Like when Bobo said to you, "Oh, you don't sound like your voice." Levin said, "I am stoned."
Lemon is very easy to understand. He speaks, like he said, he speaks slowly, but he's easy to understand. He makes good points.
Yeah,
I
he
didn't have
does.
a problem.
Very
I didn't have a
smart.
problem with him.
Me neither. I like listening to him. There I am trying to sweep up my stoned comment about him, and he goes, "I am stoned always." And I'm trying to sweep up what I was saying because I felt bad. He
Who
goes, "I
says
like,
side by?
huh?
Who says side by?
Sci-bi?
Yeah,
Who's sci-bi?"
you were saying sorry and then bye, and then you came out and you kind of like stuttered when you said sorry, and you said side by, and then you go, who the fuck says side by? And then you were like, you made the sign of what you
Wasn't
did.
that in like a video I made?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, and then I made like a motion like I was stoned. Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember. Yeah, yeah, right. I remember that. That was like my ponytail reveal.
How about
Wow.
what were you doing in that bathroom? I seen you in the bathroom and you're like, I left the door open and I wanted you to see.
You are the funniest person ever. I mean, here's Lemon go. I make sure no one understands me. And here's you picking out the sentence that I said, which I did say it, and I forgot totally. But it wasn't about like I really left the door open so people could see. But you're hysterical. Like when you said, "Oh, I remember SG saying she's never seen one too big or something." And I was like, "What?" And I did say that, but I didn't mean it the way you make me feel I meant.
You were
Now
like,
you
I
make
was
me feel I like
joking.
people looking at me when I go to the toilet.
I was joking.
I
That's
know,
what
I know.
I
I'm
was
kidding too.
joking.
I'm kidding too. It was at work. That was when, like, because I was been going through the thing with, the V person for a long time. And it was like, I think at that point I was, uh, just, yeah, I don't even know. I don't even remember that video. Was I singing in
You were singing. It was a little bit of singing, some spinning around.
there?
Uh,
spinning around, star dancing.
Hey, guess what I was doing today?
The I can't remember the name. Oh, trapeze.
Oh, I was driving down the road car dancing.
Were you really?
I was like, who does this? Who does this?
What song?
Oh, I couldn't remember. Any song's a good song to me.
I know, right? Did you end up listening to that one, Blue October?
That's a hard song to listen to. I like Boogie Oogie Oogie.
Do you mean it's hard to listen to it when I sing Blue October?
No,
Or it's so sad that it's hard?
it's a different kind of group. It's not like your mainstream group. It was, and I tried listening to it. I couldn't listen to it. But I listened
the words are good.
Hey, in your videos, you're one of the only people that sings and performs to the song. You'll be dancing around.
I'm all around with the whole performance. I love it.
Yeah.
I was even gonna take advantage of my Bob-ness and be like the next Cryptid. Like I wanted to I really thought I could probably pull it off if I had the right person to go along with it. Lemon said it's a sad song. But like I was gonna put like the spotlight behind me so that my shadow appeared on different walls, like perhaps even around my city. I could do it, right? Big walls like at nighttime, and I look like an alien if I do like jittery motion and stuff. And then maybe I could wear it because remember it's just my shadow, and I'm Bob, so I could be like the rake, but not the rake. Hey Maximus, you know what the rake is?
A rake, a yard rake?
A yard rake. I could be like a yard rake. No, like I like sad songs too. Lemon said he likes sad songs though personally. Me too. But no, the rake is like that white thing, and I'll rake you. I'll rake you. First he was gonna can my asparagus. Now he's gonna rake me.
Don't misspell that word.
I know, right? But it was like as if when I was an alien. You know how aliens look?
Do I know how aliens looked?
Yeah, like bald.
From like Saturday Night Live?
Well, no, like anytime they portray an alien, it's Bob.
Oh, well, I
thought I could be one.
I don't believe in the aliens.
All right, but that's why I was gonna do like this thing where an alien was spotted in my town, but it's me.
Oh, that might work.
That's what I thought. If I just like cast my shadow in certain places, and I'm Bob, and maybe I was like down on all fours, kind of jittery, my shadow. Right?
I don't know about all that.
Yeah, but see, Lemon, how you put that picture of a Bob alien? I could pull that off as in a shadow sense.
If everyone knows, like, where are they? How come they're not intermingling with human beings? How come? I need to see more evidence before I start believing in aliens.
But then I saw her face. Now I'm a believer. Did you see what that puts whole new meaning to? But then I saw her face. Now I'm a believer. when I just said I could pull that off.
That's a song by the Monkees, isn't it?
I know, but I go, see that picture that Lemon put? I could pull that off. And he's like, and maybe I wouldn't want to be a believer. No, he's like, he has such a vast. Do I conversate with ants?
Do you conversate with aliens?
Ants. He says ants.
Ants?
No, I don't talk to ants. I kill them. I'm sorry, I just do.
Be gone and they're gone.
Yeah, I haven't seen a lot of ants lately, but I will tell you that one spider. Oh, he's asking, do you conversate with ants, Rourke?
Oh, do I?
So. I don't think any rhetorically speaking.
I try not to.
And not before I'm gonna kill them. I don't want them to get, like feel like it's personal. Just because they're an ant, I'm racist against them. Because of the way they look. They look like an ant and they're gone. But this spider, which usually I do, see, he's too smart. I don't even get the ant question. So now I'm going on to my spider that I have now as a pet. But he's not really my pet. But the thing is this. I did name him Spidey. Oh, what's this here? Oh, somebody's coming up. Oh, Lemon.
I just came on to clarify what I was trying to say. What I was trying to say, Rourke, was that you asked why don't they conversate with us speaking on aliens, and then I said, do you conversate with ants?
Oh, okay.
We're about as advanced as we perceive ants to be.
That makes sense now. Absolutely. Yeah. I'm glad you said that because I was ready to not know what you meant.
Yeah, I could tell you weren't going to get it.
Thanks a lot. Who's playing the live stream in the background? Is that you, Rourke?
Oh, that might be me. No, I don't think it's me.
No, it's not me.
Yeah, Lemon, I do have a question I have to ask you right now because, and I've been saving it. When we were talking about Atlantis, now Rourke's probably heard the last video of Atlantis, and that's what we were talking about. And, I was talking about that with Lemon. When I was like researching it, it said it's not really proven to be true, which I didn't know.
That's because it was coming from a source which comes from the mainstream realm. I should have given you the Theosophy wiki instead of the regular wiki because the regular Wikipedia is fucking junk when it comes.
No, I read different accounts about it, like because I wanted to get it.
Well, yeah, like if you look around, there's going to be a lot of people who are on one side of the field or the other, and the two sides are either you're coming from the mainstream materialist perspective where you can't really make heads or tails of this kind of stuff, but then you have like more esoteric and occult type researchers who pull from completely different repertoires of information, like the fucking Tibetans and other sacred texts that have been preserved. And they
now, what do you think about that kind of stuff, Mr. Rourke? Like, are you into the stuff? I know me and Lemon actually will watch, we'll share videos with each other about stuff, like that. Do you think about those?
Mr. Rourke doesn't seem like he's traveled down that road, but
I think so. He asked about the aliens.
It could be.
I'm sure he'd be curious about it. I mean, most people are, but it takes a certain kind of people to actually
like. I was just gonna say what he was thinking about it, like.
But yeah, I'd love to know too.
Mr. Rourke.
Do I believe in the Atlantis? It could be.
Have you looked into it at all or anything? Not even just do you believe in it?
No.
And have you looked into anything that's like out of the realm of
Yeah, are
You
you
know,
interested in like alternative kinds of theories like, aliens or Atlantis or,
cryptids.
archaeology, shit like that?
Yeah.
Giants, all that stuff. Or is that
Not so,
something you just haven't traveled down?
not so much because it's not around me. So
Oh yeah, yeah, no, I understand. For me, how it went was literally like there's literally a Disney movie on Atlantis, and then it's even on like places like the History Channel, and then there are other accounts of it in books. So that's where I gained my curiosity for the topic. And then when I found how much information was actually out there on it, oh man, I was loving it. Took a while to make heads or tails of, but there's a lot out there. But yeah, I know exactly what you're saying about it's just not something that
Well,
you
I
run
teeter
into.
on the fence between what Mr. Rourke said earlier, like he doesn't believe in aliens, and then I also do believe. And but I think maybe they're different from what that emoji looks, with the alien and the big eyes. I don't think they look like that. I think that's what we're met. I don't think you think that
I've
either.
come
I'm just
across
saying.
information that says like there are different species of them. So the ones with the big eyes and the head, apparently those do exist, but they aren't the only kind. Like there are humanoid ones and all sorts of other fucking non-physical ones even.
Yeah, I think some of them are even like the size of bacteria.
So something, yeah, I'm sure there would be stuff like that. There's actually this movie called, I think it was based off of a book. I think it's called Valerian. No, it is called Valerian, and it's called like Valerian and like the City of a Thousand Planets or something. And like one of the species of aliens on there is actually like, I think it was microscopic, if not really small.
Kind of like Star Wars. Remember they went into that bar and all the aliens were different?
Yeah, yes, there's definitely some Star Wars influence, but they took it even a little further.
Mr. Rourke, have you ever seen a UFO or maybe?
actually, I seen an object and I was looking at it in the sky and I was like, "What the hell is that?" What I believe
How
it to
long
be
ago?
was maybe five around 2016. Um,
Yeah.
anyways, it was a brown object, and it didn't move like a flying saucer. It would go up in the air, come down, and it almost seemed like it was floating. And then what I noticed it to be was like a big box, and somehow it was floating and in the air. That's the only thing I've ever seen in the air that looked weird to me that I couldn't identify. And it
Was it
actually,
daytime or nighttime?
it was daytime, and actually it went from I live by lakes, and it went like from over the lake to like south of the direction I was staying in, and it kept on. It was up in the air, it would lower down, then it seemed like it would lift back up. And
Could
actually,
it have been one of those balloons? You know, a balloon for, because I was at, my friend released one of those. Somebody has those, I think, playing in the background, maybe, but I hear an echo. But my friend released one of those, what do they call those balloons? They're like foil. They sell them at the dollar store. The
yep.
regular satellite balloon, whatever they are. But they released it, like, in memory of her son. And then when I watched it go up and it was daytime, I thought, that could easily be mistaken for something, if somebody didn't know.
But I've never seen an object where it was flying around and it had like weird lights on it.
Oh, it had
And
lights? Oh, okay.
No, he said he's never seen one where it was like flying around and it had like lights, like how you picture like in like that one movie.
In the lights.
But have you ever seen one where it's just a light, but it like you can't tell if it's an airplane?
Yeah.
Because I've seen those. Like I haven't seen one where it's like I'm 100% sure it's like a fucking alien, but I've seen ones where it's like not only was it didn't it did it not look like an airplane, but it wasn't going in like a straight line like how an airplane would be. It was actually going back and forth.
That's what I
And this
thought.
was way before drones were around, so it was definitely not a drone.
That's
Yeah.
the only reason why I will believe, like, in that there might be something because of seeing something like it. And I wouldn't even believe my own eye if somebody else hadn't been there. And that's the saving grace of the whole experience, is that somebody else was there too. And so when I looked at it, and I remember specifically because I would stargaze, like we would smoke a joint, sit there and
I love stargazing.
yeah, and stargaze. And so I know I was studying the sky, and then suddenly it was big too. I could count the lights on it. And it was C-shaped with white lights, and it was swinging back and forth like a pendulum.
Wow,
And
yeah, that's exactly what I experienced. Minus all the other stuff,
turned
but
to
just
my friend,
the swinging back and
I go,
forth.
Walter, what would you say that is? And he said, well, I have to say that's a and he said, I was
And then
going
he
to say
stopped.
plane if it didn't disappear right before my very eyes. And that's what it did. It didn't fly away. It did not. It just disappeared.
Vanished. Yeah.
Yeah, like it went through a wormhole or something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I heard that sometimes when they appear like that, they're not actually like fully here. They're just kind of like partially dipping into the third dimension.
I could see what you're saying. Like we can see them,
kind of like water and fish, and like if you were to dip your foot into it, but you live in a completely different fucking dimension.
Well, Tommy Highway was on here the other night. He was saying, and if they're traveling that fast, why aren't they breaking the sound barrier?
Oh, because they don't operate under physics only, obviously.
Well, that would explain what you just said.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I've long since answered questions like that.
Yeah, I feel like, they're smarter than that.
Come on when Tommy's on here.
I know, I always wonder why he doesn't. Why don't you, Lemon?
Oh, why don't I come on when Tommy's on? I don't come on here or don't come on here in any particular reason. Sometimes I'm just more available than other times. So
yeah,
sometimes
but I feel like you have a more biased view of it.
Yeah, I'm very. It's not that I'm biased. I'm just like I don't have time for like amateur talk, nor do I have time to teach people everything I know. So sometimes
you're killing me.
Sometimes I get to convey little bits and pieces without any of that other stuff, like now with Rourke. But sometimes when I have to get really explanatory,
he's being silly. Don't listen to him.
Sometimes when I have to get really explanatory, it's too much effort.
I mean, I'm pretty smart.
Who?
Me.
Oh, of course. Of course.
Oh my God, listen. No, but I mean, I'm pretty smart that I don't say, oh, this is my idea and that's it.
Yes, you are very open, and I like that. That's something most people can't do.
Yeah, they won't. You could tell. Like I can tell sometimes. Like Mr. Rourke
because they're already so invested.
Yeah, they're already so invested. Mr. Rourke is cool, but there's other times I'll be on the piano with some people, and I know you've all witnessed it.
Yeah, Rourke is invested, so it's easy to talk to people like that.
Yeah, but it's also I'm invested in learning about it.
Oh yes, of course.
You are so funny. I never know if you're being facetious. Who has the live stream playing?
Not me. You want me to drop out and see if it sounds better?
Well, you don't echo, but Lemon, you talk. Let me see if you echo.
Hello, hello.
No, only me. Only I echo.
It must be you. But I mean, it's not that noticeable. So I mean, unless somebody's complaining, don't even worry about it.
Okay, good. It's
Yeah,
like
I
mushroom.
wanted to say that sometimes when there's like tiny little technical issues, like don't even worry too much about it because
All right, I
that just
won't.
happens.
But sometimes I
Yeah,
notice,
no,
like
sometimes it gets
I'll be,
really bad, but sometimes it's not that bad.
I sometimes, I want to like, to express, how like we're having a conversation, but then there's other times I can tell that somebody is so dead set, like you said, that no matter how I'm saying it, they're just going to keep hearing their, like Democrats and Republicans, how they say that. I don't feel like there's Democrats and Republicans. I think people feel, you know, we could just feel the same way about the same idea or maybe different. Like they shouldn't divide us like that, but they
Hmm.
will use that term. And I'm like, don't, kind of thing.
Yes.
Like those nasty liberals. It's like, come on, It's, and so I like having conversations with people who aren't so dead set.
Partisan. Yes.
Yeah, I want to talk and learn. And that's why I was so shocked when I was studying about the Atlantis when it said
When it
that,
said that it's not proven, yeah.
well, it said that what it said was not that it's not proven, but just that it's not quite the way I was thinking of it. But Plato wrote it, right? Like it was in a book.
Yeah, it is interesting. Plato's account on it is interesting as well
Yeah,
because
exactly.
like Plato was around a long time after Atlantis was there, so he would be, referencing like different legends and tales that that were around his time. So he wasn't dealing with, like a full deck of cards. And apparently his whatever the fuck of
Take on
Atlantis
it.
wasn't actually supposed to be like an account, or that's the word I was looking for, account. His account of Atlantis wasn't actually supposed to be like a literal account of Atlantis. His was more like a thought experiment.
Right, but he broke it down into sections, like the whole city itself. And I thought it was really fascinating that one of the rings around it or sections of it was a racetrack, a horse racetrack.
Oh
Because,
yeah,
yeah, and
he
it had
pictured
running
how it would look
water.
and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, hot and
Well, that's
cold
what's
running
crazy about the
water.
imagination
Hot
is
and
how much
cold
you can
running
do with it.
water, though.
What about running water?
It had hot and cold running water, like he was talking about, and stuff in there, which that was like 330 BC and like so.
Interestingly enough, I haven't fully read Plato's account just because where I'm coming from, I never really needed his account. But now that you mention that he mentions hot and cold water, I'm actually interested in what he said on it, or what his
Yeah, it
writings
was
on
all
it
about a reference
include.
to aggressive imperialism.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
yeah,
that's what I'm familiar about. It is like he was looking at it on that level, like a political analysis of what might have happened or some shit.
but I think it was he went into the like Poseidon and all that, so it had something to do with gods and everything. And you know, so one of them like kind of drowned the city. Like one wanted to take it over, one wanted this. It went more into it. But I was just real fascinated by the whole.
Mythology gets really fuzzy because it's like a whole language that you have to learn,
I was
and
just fascinated,
oh
which then
yeah,
brought me
no,
into those Sumerian tablets.
there's no shortage of like research material if you're interested.
The Sumerian tablets? Are we boring you, Mr. Rook? I hope not, because now on that Sumerian tablet, that got me. Because I was like,
Isn't that
these
like
people are talking
Mesopotamia?
about mining the earth for
Yes,
gold.
Mr. Rourke, correct.
What did he say?
He said, "Isn't that like Mesopotamia?" And he's right.
Sumeria or
Mesopotamia, it's like what's the
it's the land
word?
between two bodies
It,
of water, right?
No, that's like a peninsula or something. Mesopotamia was a city that was near Sumeria and
Sumeria,
around
yeah,
it, like
right.
a
It's the
similar
first
time.
place that language was
Yes,
created,
that's
was
true.
Mesopotamia.
That's
Yeah.
true.
And if you
It
break
was like
down
one of the first
it's meso,
civilizations.
if you break down though the breakup of the word, it
Oh,
means
okay, yeah,
land
the
between two.
etymology. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, it means land between two. Yeah. Very, see? Oh, fantastic. See, Mr. Rourke does know. He
Oh,
is.
Mr.
Oh,
Rourke.
yeah, because that it was incredible to me that the Sumerian tablets were, talking about aliens, which they had depicted as looking like giants.
It's
Um,
not necessarily aliens as much as it is just like non-human entities.
right, but they were saying they were coming to Earth to mine for gold, so
Yes,
it's almost like
yes,
a
but
reverse of
this is
today.
this is why what I said about mythology being a whole language itself is important. What the translation goes into isn't it says those who came from heaven or those to earth from heaven who came type shit, and it doesn't heaven doesn't translate to like space as much as it does like a spiritual higher dimension.
Well, I see what you're saying, but the way they were talking was as if it was almost the reverse of what's happening today, where we want to go to space and God knows what they want to drill for on the moon and all that shit.
Oh yeah, there was the gold thing, and I'd love to get into it, but this is exactly what I meant about it gets too deep too quickly. This is stuff that I've studied over 10 years to try and like convey it in any short amount of time isn't gonna fly.
No, but what I'm saying it's incredible.
Oh yeah, no, we can go that direction as far as just there's a lot there
And
to
in
unpack.
relation to what Mr. Rourke said, with that being the first, Mesopotamia being where the first written language comes from, which is what? From Abraham, right?
Abraham was from Ur, but no,
Yeah, yeah.
he came long after. He's just one dude from there.
No, he wrote the tablet, like not those, but he was like what a printing press would be today. But so if somebody wrote something and they wanted to make a couple of copies of it, here he is tapping it out on stone and shit, right? Take it forever. But they were praying to multiple gods. And then he, supposedly talked to God, and his message to him was that there's one God, and go spread this word. And that's where the 13, like he went around, he made these many
Well,
copies and
see, this
went
is
out.
the thing. Like, by the time Abraham was around, he kind of like came up with monotheism, which is like, like God being one thing and like thinking of it as like the most high God above all the other gods. But in Mesopotamia and surrounding cultures, they were long since pantheistic and had long since worshipped multiple gods. So this is what I mean about there's a lot to
That's what
unpack.
I'm saying. They were worshiping multiple gods, and he was saying that he had gotten like a vision from God
Well, where do you
saying,
think they came up with their ideas? They had visions too.
well, I know they did, but what I mean is he did come from there, and he's supposedly the one who kind of was, well, that's where the first written language is supposed to have come
Yes,
from
but what
us.
I'm
Right?
saying is that
Yeah.
he ended up developing the philosophy that led to the Abrahamic religions, but he did not come up with the first language or anything. That was already Mesopotamia is where the first
Where it
language
was made,
was.
yes, where it
Yes,
was
yes,
done. Yes,
yes.
exactly. So he was already like, and a
Yeah,
lot of
he was just
people
like
don't,
some dude
yeah.
from there that, went on to do things.
Right. So that's where it came from. But I'll hear people with other different accounts of like the first written language,
Hmm.
and they're, way off, you know? And
Yeah,
I'm like, no. And I don't think Sumeria, all right, that's what near Turkey, like modern day Iraq and all that, right? Iran.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like the Middle East,
Hmm.
where when I hear, and this is not as in a racist or any way, shape, or form, but I will hear, people saying, no, no, they came from, here, they were going to be, but no, because we've studied, like obviously both of you and myself, about Mesopotamia, where it came from. Those people are Middle Eastern, so not necessarily white, not necessarily black, but,
White and black are such fictitious like labels. It's not even funny.
it's just a color, though. A zebra is black and white.
Yeah, no, that's all it really is. Like it's a description of like the shade of your skin, and not even like we're not really white and black. We're just kind of lighter and darker.
Yeah, I mean,
But then the whole black and white thing is entirely political. If you actually get into the creation of the label.
What'd you say, Mr. Rourke?
We have like our skin is pigmentation.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, I feel like they lived in Africa, and so Africa had sun, and so there was more pigment, so they wouldn't burn. You know what I mean? Well, I feel like they should know that.
Well, see, that's the thing. Is like people want to be purposefully fucking obtuse when it's convenient for political gain, I guess.
Yeah, because basically it goes right to just what Mr. Rourke said about pigmentation. Then they were trying to say it had something to do with being different DNA, and they were. Did you read that? It was like 666, the DNA, some kind of this. There was 6 of this, 6 of that.
Oh God, yeah, no, I'm telling you, Tracy, you got to be careful when you're doing internet research, because there's a lot of, let's say, psychotic people running around coming up with all.
It had something to do with a date, right? It had something to do with a date. Was going to come up. Now it's came and passed, and okay, so now what do you got to say about that? You know what I mean? Like these people, they'll go, oh, the world's not the world's going to end
I've been around long enough that I've seen like hundreds of people claim things that never ended up coming
Look
up
at the
to anything.
Programming.
Like, it just fizzled away.
So much shit for the millennium, saying that the computers were going to crash when it turned 2000.
Yeah, exactly. Y2K.
Yeah, they sold so much shit touting that, and nobody made a big enough stink saying, wait a minute, you guys made me buy this stuff.
Oh, there were plenty of people. It's just, all the people who took advantage of those people, they don't want you to know. So, of course, they're not going to go around telling.
I feel like there's more of us than there is of that 1% that they say is the richest people, and that we really thought about what they're doing, like who needs. I just saw like a picture of Shaq's new yacht.
Yeah, people like Shaq are embarrassing.
Yeah,
but like the guy actually one day he's like trying to pretend like he's some sort of honorable person by doing who knows what thing or speaking on who knows what topic, and then the next day he's buying a yacht. It's like, okay.
For basketball, he has that much money?
Good point. Good point about the inequality of wealth in this society.
I think he had a contract where he was making $20 million a year.
Yeah, for basketball.
Yeah, for dribbling a fucking piece of rubber with air in it down a bunch of wood. Yes.
Yeah, and there's people who, like Steven Spielberg. Okay, he's a filmmaker. He went to college, probably for that. But there's other people who go to college for something, and they're stuck with, maybe to be a teacher, and they're stuck with these school loans because, like, okay, I don't get it. If people go into something to do something they love, the point is they were prepared to take whatever it paid. So why does basketball or, something like that?
The main reason is because basketball is connected to the entertainment industry and it makes so much money. But then the question is, why is the entertainment industry such a big thing and such a big focus in a world as screwed up as ours? And depending on which angle you come at it from, you can come up to a lot of answers. But coming at it from where I come at it from, the answer is because these things are used to distract people. And
I think it has something to do with the Scientology.
you think it has something to do with Scientology? Well, the Scientology thing is definitely plays a part. Not that it's like the head of anything, but the same thing that goes on in Scientology goes on in other places, i.e., cult-like behavior.
Right, but even more than that, I mean, I don't know if you remember Dianetics and L. Ron Hubbard.
No, I know all about it. I know all about it.
Yeah, and I feel like they're doing some kind of a Hollywood mafia almost. Like if people don't want to give a lot of their money to that particular, they pulled the biggest infiltration of the government in history, the Church of Scientology.
Yeah, I watched a couple documentaries on it talking about that too. I think I saw the same one you're talking about.
Yeah, and they never ever got. I mean, they infiltrated in like 5,000 government agencies. They had, thousands of covert people working in these offices. And then they're just some religious group that is tax exempt, still trucking along. It's like in people's faces. Things are in people's faces. And like they almost say, see how we put things in people's faces and they still won't do anything, and they kind of laugh and jokes on us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Mr. Rourke popped back. We lost him. Now he's back. I feel like we just all need to take notice.
I seen Miss Passion on here, so I said hi to her, and then I tried to like push the chat button. I thought I would go to the chat, but then it took me to like a private chat, and then I went back, and then I got to the chat, and I said hi to Miss Passion, then I came back.
Gotcha. I just feel like, there's more to everything, and the media covers up quite a bit. It really does. And Lemon, are you here? Lemon? Lemon? I think he's here. I know Mr. Rourke is, but I know you're not my age, but close to my age, so you do remember the LA riots. I just wanted to know if Lemon knew about those or ever had.
Yeah, I remember, and
yeah, in '92, yeah. And they were I remember that video of that trucker getting pulled from his truck. You remember that?
His name was Reginald Denny, wasn't it?
Yes, absolutely. 91 fractures to his skull. Remember they were all kicking him?
Yeah.
Yeah, that sticks in my head because I was like, wow, and that helicopter was just filming it. Remember?
Yeah, he had a red truck. It was a big red dump, kind of like a gravel hauler.
Yeah, they all pulled him right out of the truck and were beating him. And when now I hear, things like, oh, nothing changed. It's like, yeah, but it didn't change because of the police. They left there and left everybody to their own defenses within 3 hours. So for 6 days, 64 people got killed. Lawlessness. Lemon, you hear?
Yes.
Lemon, did you ever hear about the LA riots in '92?
Yes.
Did you ever watch any of the videos?
Only brief clips.
There was one of this guy, Reginald Denny, and he was a truck driver, and he got...
I've seen that one.
Yeah, so disturbing. But when I read that after the acquittal of those cops, that within 15 minutes, there was over 300 people at the police station, right? And then the cops were told to leave for their own safety. So then thousands of people poured out on the street, like protecting there because fires were erupting and all that. I think to myself, wait a minute, that's so fucked up. If there's 300 people outside of the police station, now during this Derek Chauvin thing, right, which I think we're all pretty sure he's going to get, convicted, which he should.
I'm not so sure.
Yeah, but did you see the picture that I used for my thumbnail? His hand is in his pocket.
Oh, I wanted to mention something. You kept on asking, why is his hand in his pocket? I know why his hand's in his pocket. Put your hand on your pocket. Put a pillow down on the ground. Put your knee on top of the pillow. Put your hand on top of your thigh, upper thigh. Push down. You'll know what you're doing. Why is his hand in the pocket? Because it's concealing it. You're saying, what the fuck's his hand in his pocket for? What's he doing? I just showed you. He's putting his hand in his pocket so you can't see that he's using his arm to push down with more force over his neck.
Right. So anyway you look at it, the fact that his hand is in his pocket is not normal.
Why do you think he would be doing that?
Because he knows what he's doing. He's like, this motherfucker fucked with me at the club. I got his ass.
That's what I think. I think it's personal.
So what about the part that he ingested a bunch of fentanyl and other drugs? Does that play any part in the death, or is that completely unrelated?
It's unrelated. He could have did fentanyl any time.
Pocket.
So he couldn't have, it couldn't have, like an overdose couldn't have contributed to the death?
Are you saying that?
Like a combination of overdose and asphyxiation from the body weight?
I'm saying if he didn't have a knee on his neck, he ain't gonna. His breathing would have been fine. He would have been down the road trying to cash the 20 in somewhere else. He would not have been dead on the sidewalk.
Here's my logic. First off, I don't agree with the knee neck thingy, but what I'm thinking is like if the knee is on the neck, unless the guy is like forcibly trying to get away, I don't think the cop would be putting that much force on it.
No, but you gotta look at the picture.
Real quick. So then the logic that I was going with and that I've heard other people hypothesize was that it was just the overdose that played the main part. But I mean, how would taking a bunch of a really potent drug not in any way be an issue?
If it was an overdose, how come someone didn't run with a can of Narcan? I see addicts ODing all the time, and there's a group of people. Hey, give him some Narcan, save him.
Because they might not have known that he had overdosed.
I think he got up and walked to the cruiser, though, didn't he?
At one point, they put him in from some sources or whatever that I've heard. Apparently, they put him in the cruiser, and he was getting really like antsy because he had already swallowed the fentanyl. So he wanted to be literally put over on the sidewalk. And then he was put on the sidewalk. And then that's where you see the knee on the neck. And
did you see the hand in his pocket?
I didn't. Even in that thumbnail, I don't see what you're talking about. Let me look a second time.
Yeah, it's the cop has his hand in his pocket, which seems to be such a casual motion to be doing at that moment.
I see it. It looks to me like he just has black gloves and his hand is on his like pants, but it could be in his pocket. But that could just be like a random split-second thing where, he put his hand in his pocket for whatever reason.
I mean, that's what's weird.
Time, yeah, whatever. I mean, let the courts do whatever.
I mean, I just think it's a weird body language. You know what I'm saying?
Cops are weirdos.
Do you think it was right or wrong that the man died?
What'd you say, Work?
Do you think it was right or wrong that George died?
I think it could have been avoided.
I don't really know how to answer that. I guess all death is wrong, so it's wrong.
I think that I wonder why none of the other police officers, you know, why were they all just standing there? It just seems odd to me.
Most plausible answer is they didn't see anything happening out of the ordinary.
The woman who they both worked for as security people, she said at first she didn't recognize either one of them as her former employees, and then as she looked further at the cop, she did recognize him as one of her off-duty police officers, which that in itself is disturbing to me. That they can be hired as an off-duty police officer, like with that title. What does that freaking mean?
And I
But
want to be.
go ahead.
Go ahead. I don't want to cut you off.
But then she said she's never recognized George Floyd as one of her employees. So I find out, and she's like this media mogul, but I think, couldn't there possibly be some, subject to, where they maybe possibly had something in the past and, a personal thing. Like he knew that
Of course,
in
there
his
could
mind.
be, but I don't think that was the case at all.
I also think that when they're giving out these civil death, wrongful death, settlements, they should actually look and see how much tax.
I also want to be clear. I am completely anti-authority and anti-cop, so I am in no way trying to be defensive on part of the cops. This is just the conclusions that I've drawn based on the hours of research that I've done on the topic.
I am, not so big on authority myself. So sometimes I might come off that I'm anti, authority cops and stuff. But I do know there is other cases where they're also put in a predicament, So I don't want to think that either. I don't take sides. I just give stories.
I believe that they're over policing in certain areas and under policing in certain areas.
I concur.
I don't know if they're over policing.
Oh, they are definitely over policing certain areas.
Because like what areas do you mean?
Like the lower socioeconomic areas, i.e., black communities.
Well, they certainly weren't over policing them when they were looting.
Well, there was a stand down order, and that was all political. So things get black and white or very fuzzy very quickly.
Right, a stand down order. That is so crazy.
Oh, politics is a joke. This whole society is a joke. The fact that people want to keep pretending like this is just some infallible, perfect society. It's like, what are y'all smoking?
A stand down order.
Because I need whatever y'all are smoking. I need some of that.
I just can't even get over that. These people feel like they're going to be protected by, the police.
Yes, because the Democrats are literally using them as a fucking, political weapon. And the majority of them are dumb enough to fall for it and think that what they're doing has anything to do with the betterment of the black community.
Well, it doesn't have, it absolutely has.
Yeah, they're just being taken advantage of and also being made fools of to the opposing side, which then this is what they do. They just play people off endlessly.
I don't think they're being made. I think that they're making this a division. The media is making a division in people based on race. Yeah.
Yes, but it's on all fronts. It's on all fronts. Just like the school to prison pipeline, all that stuff exists and is a real thing.
What did you say? School and prison?
School to prison pipeline.
Oh, they get it right out of school and go to prison?
Yes.
Are they already in juvie, or are they just criminals?
More that the education system is not made for them, so it's definitely not designed to help them. And then really all that's left, and then not all that's left, but what's specifically designed for them is to result in crime and then subsequently prison.
See, I feel that what's happening because there's white neighborhoods that are low income and their school
Yes, it's a
budgets get cut.
socioeconomic thing, but it's also a racial thing.
Right, but the thing is that when they're giving out these $27 million civil wrongful death suits, it's hitting the education programs, through the budget. They're cutting the budget.
Yes, that's another thing about the politicization is it just creates more problems and division.
Yeah, it's like, they don't realize that, without, making the police responsible for their actions.
Hey, where'd he go?
Did he leave?
I don't know. I don't see him no more.
He might have. Maybe, I don't know. But that's the
You know,
key. You got to make the police responsible for their actions.
when you're on your phone and you're talking, sometimes you don't look at the phone and the screen goes black. And then if you don't open it up again, then it will cut you off. And then you have to come back to the link and then to get back on.
Oh, so I should put it back, the link on there?
Unless he knows where it's at.
He left on purpose. He might have been mad.
No, he was in mid sentence.
Was he? I thought he
think so.
said that. I thought he sounded mad at me.
He didn't sound mad at you. He likes you.
Not mad, not angry mad. Just like, you peon. No, sir. Oh,
You're
boy.
a jokester.
Yeah, I feel the cops have to be held responsible.
Everyone has to be held responsible. Why not them?
Yeah, everybody. Oh, he said his phone died. That's what happened. I'm sorry. Yeah, I feel like, they consistently sometimes maybe they know about the qualified immunity doctrine, the police, so they feel that they already know that they're going to be, not prosecuted for it. But fortunately, in Colorado, in Connecticut, and Minneapolis, prior to the George Floyd case, they've been, breaking like the actual usual way it goes in the courts, not setting a precedent for prosecuting police officers, but they have been. So that's good. And that's the bottom line. But the thing that it has to go state by state is an issue.
Did you just hear that Harley
Yeah.
Davidson?
Huh?
Did you just hear that Harley Davidson motorcycle?
I did not.
Oh, wow.
Do you know that? And I'm curious about this. You have two devices that you could look something up, Mr. Rourke, because I'm curious. In
I don't.
in Michigan, if somebody rapes a woman, but she is intoxicated by her own accord, is it not a felony?
Oh, I think it is a felony.
I don't think so anymore. That's so huge. That is like I can't even get over that.
I heard some cases that happened at college, but I haven't heard nothing really lately. No rape cases lately.
Well, I do know that in Minneapolis, while this George Floyd thing is going on, they overturned like a court case where the guy was, he had raped a woman who was intoxicated when she like kind of fell asleep, whatever. And then the court turned it over and said if she was intoxicated of her own accord, like she drank herself. So it's not a felony.
Huh? That's news.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, that is insanity. That means any woman where, alcohol is found in her system, if she gets raped, it's not their fault. It's a misdemeanor. That's so shocking to me.
Hello, Rachel.
She says, I
Rochelle.
treat everyone like family with all her ribbing. Are you joking? And it takes a second to realize that I do. I'm sorry. Sometimes I'm like, I listen back to myself and I'm like, wow, I'm a bitch. You know? What do you think, Mr. Rourke?
I think you're passionate about your thoughts and like I believe like you had good points and you want to be heard. Unfortunately, the community that we're in, they'd rather talk about fighting, heroin, prostitution, more than they would talk about things that matter, like standing up for the people, standing up for people's rights to for SSI, standing up for people's rights for equality. They rather watch two women fight, bring each other down.
I get disheartened sometimes because I'm like, can you imagine if I would have said I spent $5 on Haagen-Dazs?
Well, that's if it's your money. When they give you the money,
it's a different. Nope. You don't see. I don't know if you knew or ever saw.
No, I didn't ever seen any of that. And I had no, I didn't know nothing about that. What you told me was that somebody ruined the GoFundMe page, and that's all I knew.
They ruin it. They tried to, but what I mean is, like, if I like drove when I went to drive to like meet my daughter halfway, it was like 39 miles for each of us. It's like $20 gas. That's it, $20, right? And I mean, I got such shit for it, you know? And it's not about me. This what I'm bitching about is not about me, and it's not about Sharon. It's about the people. Like you're just saying, like people they like that kind of drama. It's about that state of mind that they harassed me for putting gas in my car to go see my daughter, right?
You know, who are these people? Like Mr. Space Australian.
Oh, he's nice.
Yeah, he's nice. And when he was talking, he goes, Tom kind of implied that if I wasn't donating, he wasn't really gonna.
It wasn't Tom who did that. That was V. Vern.
Oh, okay. Sorry. So what I was thinking, if the viewers weren't maybe helping out, maybe that he would get mad. But I had mistaken shows.
Right. Yeah. He was saying about how, the V person was saying, offering people money if they sent a picture of Spaceman, tied up, beat up to a post and all that. And that's true. And that's, for 3 years, not only at the last couple of months when I gotten diagnosed with cancer going through, but I was going through feeling very bullied and ostracized. And I'm not talking about it. This isn't about me. I'm just using me as an example.
Mm-hmm.
But for 2 years before all that is that, I was being harassed, cyber stalked really by somebody I did not know, had gone into their, live stream just a couple of times. There was no talk on the phone, no flirtation, nothing, right? And then something occurred, not even anything big or anything that had to do with them. Okay? And they saw me as the face of every woman they've ever hated in their life. Which now they're seeing Bobbles as that,
I think what happened to you was that everything you were stalked for 3 years, but what's going on is that you were used by him, and something happened to him where this happens. This is a repeating cycle, and that's what crazy is. When you keep on repeating the same cycle, that's crazy.
What do you mean, used by Vern or used by Tom?
Well, Vern, because what happened is that he went ahead and emptied his he got to go ahead and stalk you, and it's a way of expressing those emotions out, where he's just repeating the same behavior with every woman. See, like with Bobbles, he did the same thing. I heard somebody say that he was married. So if that would maybe his first wife or his wife.
He's never been married. Yeah. He's never been married. The thing is, I just hope for Bobbles that it doesn't go on for 3 years. Because for 3 years, and I didn't know how deeply he had gone into Chosen One's room and was, cloning certain things, doing certain things to manipulate what eventually ended up coming about, was that he convinced, it was real easy as soon as I got cancer. He was able to, that's how evil their character is. All of them as a whole, I'm saying. Instead of them, being, I'd known these people for a year and a half going to Chosen One. And then when I get cancer, they're all like, well, we'll be your support group, we'll be here for you. And then to go on there the day when I came back from getting the results and everything and being blocked and not knowing why or anything, I was in shock. And they were laughing, technical difficulties. Then next thing, they're all in Vern's room. And this is somebody who they knew for the whole time of being out of cancer. He ran a wither away and die bitch video with my face, like, computerized to look dead.
You made the mistake of, by saying hi, hello, how you doing? You thought these people were your friends, and they're YouTube friendly. A lot of people were on Bobbles' channel that went to Sharon's channel, that went back to Bobbles' channel, and when you see that, you can. It's the history. It's a history, and if you do that on YouTube, you probably did that in real life too, and that's how you got here. You ran out of friends in real life, and no, the people, everyone, me, even myself. That's like I asked you, like, why am I here? And it's probably I'm probably antisocial in some ways, and I don't even pick it up. People pick it up, and here I am.
Well, I feel like, me being a bartender, I'm not really antisocial. It's just that I'm out of work right now. I'm bald. I'm not bartending. I'm staying home.
For me, is like, I'm not antisocial, but also I don't know how you want me to behave. Do you want me to be like all happy and like? But I'm not a really fake person. It takes a while to like get to know me, and but I'm a joke. I like to joke around. I like to crack a little bit on make cracks where But
I feel like you're a trustworthy person.
I like to have fun. I like to be funny.
I think in the beginning, when you said you were Papa Kilo, I think in the beginning you didn't know what to do with people really much. You went everywhere, and I think you might have even said something maybe a little nasty to me one time, right? But you were nice, but then you weren't, right?
Listen, if I ever said anything or had any feelings, I heard you one time, and you addressed everything that I had ever thought, and you had addressed it, and I was like, that's enough said.
I don't even remember what it was but I vaguely remember like thinking to myself, "Oh, that's so weird," because I always got along with Papa Kilo.
I don't know what it could have been, but like I remember I like the song WAP and I know that you don't like that song. To me, it's just a song, and it's just but a lot of people would say maybe that it degrades women.
I think
You think it degrades women?
I think it degrades Cardi B herself, man.
Well,
Like,
she's that character. She's playing the girl from the strip club that's had the hard life, and now she's the rapper, and she's trying to make it, you know,
wet ass pussy. And I've heard other songs by, this day and age, that are like that. And I'm just from the old school kind of era where it was like, you don't have to take your clothes off to have a good time. You know? Like, I'm just from that era where wet ass pussy wouldn't even be played on the radio.
okay, so it's the times. The times are changing, and what happens is that you might not agree with it, but that's the kids' music, and
Yeah, but also then we have to also, we can't accept that, but not accept their behavior and think, wow, that's an atrocity. You can't have it both ways. People can't think that that kind of music doesn't affect the behavior of future generations, or even like how they're allowing pornography on YouTube and no censorship. There has to be, it doesn't even have to be called censorship because that's a slippery slope. Then that could mean, you know, it affects so much things. But what happened to the days of having the dirty magazines behind the fucking counter with a plastic wrap on it so you couldn't even see the cover?
in a prior conversation, you heard me say that's why I don't believe in bringing uh, children into the world. I had one child, and that's it. I see a lot of people bring in, they multiply 5 times, 10 times, and what happens is that you have to be protective over your child, and this is the world that we live in, and obviously you can't be there 24/7. They're opened up to the world, and things happen.
Yeah, but you got to hope that you raise a good, productive citizen that's going to make good choices. So at the end of the day, the school can only do so much.
Just
Everything
like
else, it's at home where it's, you know,
just like I said, the teacher has to get across to the student, and it's so hard to get across to every student. The parent has to get across to the child. Not every parent gets across. There's two of them, two parents. Not every parent gets across to every child.
there's not always two parents sometimes, but
Well,
it's
there's
really
supposed to be.
important to, I think, read, support your local library. Go to the library, take your kids to the library, you know, because I know that it's closed now, and I feel like it's a shame that the libraries have been hit by this, quarantine crap, but I find it hard to believe that health clubs can open back up and restaurants, but schools and libraries that are, and you don't know how many times I've been to how is that entertaining? I get it to guys that would be because they're half naked shaking their butt and talking about, what, take a look, it's in a book. That's what Rachel said. Thank you. They're about, can you see the screen?
I see lemon lime.
And he's talking about reading, and Rachel is talking about get guys with that they're half naked shaking their butt and talking about, what. Yeah, I mean, it's a shame that, two of the, I'm just naming two, actually, when I'm saying library and schools, they can't open back up. And I can't tell you how many times I've asked in like stores, where's your books? You're selling books or puzzles, things like that. And they don't have any. And I'm like, oh my God, no books, even just to sell. And it really falls on the parent, that the parent has got to encourage the importance of those things with their kids. They can't just be handing them a phone and, saying, even if you do say look it up together, because if you can't tell them what something means that they ask you and you say to them, look it up, I suggest the parent looks it up too, because evidently the parent didn't know what it was either. And I always would do that, because if there's something I don't know, and I always used to have like a dictionary close by, and I've fallen into that category of Googling shit too. You know, especially with the quarantine, it's like none of us have a choice. We're stuck with the internet as our only source of socialization, really.
I didn't design the game. I'm just a player in it.
No, I'm not bitching at you. I'm just saying, I agree.
Oh,
Like,
totally understand.
I mean, I like the socialization through the internet, believe it or not. I think I'm a little addicted to live streaming.
It's like just like a yes, it is addicting. And many of us have addicting personalities.
I don't know. It's about having an addictive personality as opposed to, I enjoy it. I like it. And it's not really bad for me other than the cancer the phone gives me, right? It's like there's like a good side and a bad side to everything. And a lot of times I can see where people just end up just saying, you know what, I'm just going to try to live for today, right?
Try to live to die. Well,
No, live for today. Live for
oh, live
today. Yeah. Just, live for today and enjoy each day as it comes.
Was Rochelle out there driving like a NASCAR driver down the roads?
Rachel?
Yeah, she says she squeals her tires. Do
You
you
said
do
that
you, do you believe?
in the live stream?
Yeah, you don't remember her saying she's drives her car like NASCAR and she goes around squealing tires.
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
Was it in the line? Was it on the panel or like in the typing? And was it today?
She was on the panel when I heard that.
Uh,
And no, she hasn't been on the panel today.
no, I know. I don't know if she said she was. Like she's yelling at us. Thank you, Tracy. And how is that entertaining? I get it. Like, oh, when she said that too about the guys would find it entertaining. About wet ass, pussy, wop, whatever, right?
Uh-huh.
That also makes me think. I don't think guys should be making decisions. Like, turning over court cases, right, as a federal judge when it's pertaining to rape. Because, in comparable to what Rachel just said, and a lot of times we all see, hey, if I was a guy, I wouldn't mind being raped. If I was a guy, I wouldn't mind that, right? If I wish I was a lesbian, I'd be, And I think they have a total different look. Like, I don't think they could ever imagine what it probably feels like to somebody who's been raped, a guy, because they're looking at it like a man, and there is everybody, people do say that. Well, what do you think? What can you expect? It's a man, so he's looking at. So if everybody says that and knows that, then I don't understand how court and male judges are making decisions about, rape in a woman's body. Just my thought.
Well, interesting thought. I don't have an answer for you.
It's just so funny. Rachel said, look at Billie Eilish, girl. You can't get any more demonic than Malone. I like Billie Eilish. I like her. You know who that is?
I seen her picture. Never heard any of her music.
You probably have, and you just don't know it. Cause I'm a bad something.
She's really
Ooh.
popular in music when you're on YouTube and you scroll. She's popular in the music scene because when you're on YouTube and you're scrolling, her videos come up. But I never heard of her before, and I'm not really much of a fan for today's music. So no, I never even heard of some of hers.
Wait, what's that? He goes, that's because I'm demonic. That's why I like Billie Eilish. That's what Lemon said. No, she's just a young girl that just needs like an album with her brother in it. Like one, I don't think it was something that should have, won he you know who Marilyn Manson is, Rourke?
Yes.
Lemon said, like, how long ago was Marilyn Manson around? That's how young Lemon is. He's 27. I saw Marilyn Manson in concert with Slipknot.
He might have been around for about 8 years, maybe. He was pretty popular for a while.
Yeah, he was. He did all right. Like we're stars in the dope show. I don't know. It's good. Rachel said, "How about Ozzy?" Yeah, but I can't even understand that guy. I was never a big Ozzy fan.
Sharon.
Huh? Oh, Sharon?
Yeah.
Didn't they get
His wife,
divorced?
Sharon. He might have divorced her just recently.
She looks so much better than him. He's like, fuck.
Do you remember when he bit the head off the bat?
Hey, Lemon said, didn't he eat a crow?
Oh,
yeah, no, I think it was a bat. Like, yeah, but I don't know if it was real.
Yeah, he bit the head off a bat in concert.
I don't know if it was real though, because I think that would cause disease.
You could get away with a lot back then. Just think about how wrestling was. You could, cut a guy open with a razor blade, bleed everywhere.
Yeah, you could do that in WWF.
Did you ever go to wrestling?
Yes.
Who were you cheering for?
Andre the Giant was there. And I can't remember, but one of my favorites was the Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah.
I liked the Ultimate Warrior, and I liked.
You like the way he geeked himself up?
Who?
The way the Ultimate Warrior would geek himself up.
What do you mean geek himself up?
He'd get all excited and start, shaking his arms, and then he'd run down to the ring. He'd get in there, and then he'd clothesline somebody.
It was just it wasn't like it was I liked him like he was cute. It was like, he was just.
Oh, I know what you were looking at.
Yeah, it wasn't like I liked Andre the Giant because he was cute either.
Andre the Giant was a ladies' man back in the day before he actually got to the size that he got. He was probably considered a very handsome man, and then what happened was that pituitary gland kept going, and he probably put on another 100 pounds, went from 300 to 400, and then he hurt his back.
And I'm not laughing at you or Andre. I was laughing at Lemon goes, I liked their packages. I liked their packages.
She liked those tights.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was looking at.
Did you used to like Rick?
Sit and spin.
Did you like Rick Rude?
I don't even know who Rick Rude is.
You don't remember him? He used to roll his hips, and he'd be like, "Come on, baby, come on up here," and he'd give her a kiss, so that he would drop her.
He would hit a woman.
No, he would kiss her, and then when he would kiss her, he would dip her, and then he would just drop her.
He said like he would punch her in the face.
Yeah, he would knock her out.
He said he would drop her. Remember Andy Kaufman, and he would wrestle pregnant women?
He was the intergender champion. Yeah, he'd be like,
Are we on
She-
Andy Kaufman now?
"She's 6 foot and weighs 300 pounds." He also got into a fight with Jerry the King Lawler,
Who? Rick Rude or Andy Kaufman?
Andy Kaufman, and they were on David Letterman.
Yeah.
And Jerry Lawler smacked him, and then Andy Kaufman had to wear a neck brace.
I don't know who Jerry Lawler is. I just remember Andy Kaufman wrestling pregnant women. We are jumping topics, Rachel. We did jump topics.
Did I just hear you fart?
Hear me fart?
Yeah, I heard it was just like a bump up noise.
I didn't fart. I might have been moving something near the phone. I would mute it if I thought I was even gonna possibly fart. That would be the worst to live down. So what? It would be fucking played all over the internet. You kidding me?
What were you doing in that bathroom?
I'm gonna leave the door open.
Hey, go make a video and knock on your walls and let me know if you got solid walls.
You are funny. Oh my god. You don't miss a trick, I'm telling you. You really don't.
You like to spin around too.
Oh my god, you're killing me. I swear to God, you are the funniest. Some people are really funny to me. And you're one of them. Are you really hairless?
You're like, Michigan, huh?
No, I'm asking, are you really hairless?
No, you're thinking you live in Michigan, huh?
Why would I think that?
Because I'm hairless.
Why, hairless people live in Michigan?
Of course, I do.
Get the hell out of town. You're not hairless. Chairless, he said. Chairless.
I've been
You don't remember he was in Bob's room and he was saying, "I'm hairless." And
No,
then
she
said,
said-
"Of course they do." He goes, naturally. And then somebody said, "Are you Asian?" Which I don't know what that has to do with being hairless. But then you said, "Not even a leg hair."
Who would say, "Are you Asian"? I should have really got torn into that person's ass.
Are you Asian? Not because you looked Asian, because evidently Asian people must be hairless. I guess. I didn't know that, but they must have come across an Asian person that was hairless. But I'm asking, are you really hairless?
Yes, and this is BS. Body shaming.
You're gonna body shave?
No, body shaming.
You said body shaving.
No, body shaming.
I thought you were gonna body shave for us. I thought you were gonna show us how to do it. I thought you were gonna give us a tutorial.
I don't have to shave. What do you? I told you that. You don't believe me. You don't believe that the picture's me. You don't believe that. You don't believe nothing.
You don't believe nothing. You're right. I was so skeptical.
I'm a UFO.
Now that I believe. Oh God, you are funny. I'm gonna. You gonna come on later? Or is it gay vibes for everyone? That's what fucking Lemon said. You and JC were getting kind of close.
He's a nice
Rourke.
guy. He's a nice
Jesus.
guy.
Did you guys go out for tea?
Did we go out? He mentioned dinner and drinks, but I think he was talking about with my mother, not with me. Maybe with me
Why
and my
with your
mother.
mother?
Because I told him, I mentioned him to my, well, I talked to her about all you guys, so she knows all of you. And I showed her Bobo's channel, and I was playing it, and she heard him, and she started cracking up. She said she liked him. And then later on, I told her he had mentioned something, and she was like, "Oh no, not my baby." And
Does your mom live with you?
no, no.
Does she live close?
She lives not too close, but she lives in Michigan.
But that's good. Evidently, you must have a good relationship with her and still talk to her and stuff.
Oh, absolutely. I forgot to, I might have mentioned to you that I'm an only child.
Oh, you might have. All right, talk, because I'm not sure if I can hear you anymore.
So I showed her the picture, or no, Secular's video of him doing his hip thrusts,
Yeah.
and she busted out laughing. And
I never know whether or not to believe you.
so I was like, she busted out laughing, and I was like, I felt like telling him some advice, but she goes, "No, don't tell him nothing."
Don't tell him nothing. See, that's when I don't know whether or not to believe you because you're so funny. I gotta end this live stream, guys, because I gotta take my dog out and then I'm gonna I might be on later. That's what I was saying. Is there somebody have like a live stream tonight and I shouldn't do one or should I?
It's up to you how you feel.
I could barely hear you. Something happened with my volume
I
just
said
now.
it's up to you on how you feel.
Hey, what?
It's up to you on how you feel.
Oh, how I feel. Okay. All right, Tracy. I said Tracy, but I meant Rachel. She said, gotta go. Tracy, see you later. Yeah, I probably will come back later, but I'll do like a thing announcing like a time. So,
All right, I'll see you later.
okay, bye, you guys. Peace, love, and tacos. And 5, 4. How you feel? That's what I heard. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bye. Peace, love, and tacos. See you guys later.